You don't actually want to be rich. You just want to spend money exactly like a rich person. And unfortunately, those are two completely opposite things. Every time you scroll, someone is trying to sell you an aesthetic. A finance crossover SUV that spends 90% of its life in a corporate parking lot. An $8 iced latte just to post a picture of the cup. They look successful, but looking successful is usually the exact reason people have zero savings. Most actual millionaires honestly just look like tired dads buying light bulbs at a hardware store. They drive 10-year-old sedans and wear plain t-shirts, because real wealth isn't a performance. It's just the money you intentionally chose not to spend. It's the quiet comfort of keeping your options open. It's having enough cash to walk away from a job you hate without panicking, but nobody claps for you when you buy an index fund. There are no likes for a boring savings account. So we buy things to signal to strangers that we are doing okay. We spend money we don't have to impress people we don't even care about. It is an exhausting game, and the only prize is an expensive illusion. Welcome back. I'm Chip, and today we are looking at the messy psychology behind the fake rich trap. Let's be honest for a second. It is incredibly hard not to play this game. You work 40-50 hours a week at a job that drains you. You finally get a promotion or a small raise. Your first instinct isn't to think about your retirement portfolio. Your first instinct is to think, I deserve a reward for surviving this. You want to feel the tangible results of your hard work. So you buy a slightly nicer pair of shoes, or you upgrade your car lease. That doesn't make you foolish. It just makes you a normal human being responding to a highly commercialized world. We are bombarded by thousands of ads every single day. They all tell us the same story. They say your worth as a person is directly tied to what you consume. So when your income goes up, your lifestyle immediately creeps up with it. Economists call this the hedonic treadmill. You run faster, you earn more, but your relative happiness stays completely flat. And at the end of the month, your bank account looks exactly like it did 2 years ago. You aren't actually building a foundation. You are just paying for a more expensive version of the same daily loop. Let's talk about how this plays out in real life. We used to have a classic example in personal finance. The corporate executive making 200 grand who saves nothing versus the regular guy making 80 grand who saves everything. But that comparison always felt a bit sterile, like a textbook math problem. In reality, the pressure is much more subtle and social. It's sitting at lunch with your coworkers. Everyone pulls out a sleek, premium metal credit card to pay for their meal. You look at your basic plastic debit card and feel a tiny flash of embarrassment. It's the anxiety of arriving at a family gathering in a car with dented doors. We don't buy luxury things because we are greedy. We buy them because we are terrified of being judged as unsuccessful. The financial system knows exactly how your social anxiety works. Every app on your phone is optimized to remove the friction of spending. You double-click a side button, scan your face, and hundreds of dollars vanish. You don't even feel the loss until the statement arrives weeks later. We swap real financial security for temporary bursts of retail dopamine. You buy a premium smartwatch, and for a few days you feel like a high achiever. Then it just becomes a screen on your wrist that reminds you to stand up. Meanwhile, your actual net worth didn't move an inch. The truth is, true financial confidence doesn't look like a loud luxury logo. It looks like looking at a flashy trend and feeling absolutely nothing. It's checking your account and knowing you can survive a 6-month emergency. Most wealthy people don't look like the movies. They look incredibly ordinary because they don't owe money to anyone. They traded the appearance of success for the actual reality of peace. And that peace is worth infinitely more than a temporary ego boost. Let's look at a realistic scenario. Think about an entry-level software engineer fresh out of college. He moves to a major city and starts making decent money right away. He sees his peers renting luxury apartments that take up half their take-home pay. They eat out at trendy spots every weekend and post the cocktail menus. He feels the immense pressure to conform to that standard. If he joins them, his high salary is completely neutralized. He becomes entirely dependent on his next paycheck just to maintain the image. He can't take risks, he can't pivot, and he can't leave a toxic manager. His luxury lifestyle has effectively locked him into a gilded cage. Now imagine if he chooses to be unbothered. He keeps a roommate for 2 more years. He drives a boring, reliable sedan that is already paid off. He quietly routes his extra income into compounding assets. He isn't depriving himself. He is buying his future independence. In 5 years, his peers will still be complaining about their rent, but he will have the capital to start a business or buy his first property. He chose a slightly lower standard of living today for a massive amount of freedom tomorrow. Wealth is simply the gap between your ego and your income. The smaller you keep your ego, the larger your future becomes. So how do we actually break this cycle without making our lives completely miserable? The standard advice is always to cut out the things you enjoy. Stop buying coffee, stop eating out, stop living your life. But extreme deprivation almost always backfires. It's like going on a crash diet. You eventually snap and go on a spending binge. The real solution isn't to rely on constant, exhausting willpower. The solution is to build a behavioral system that operates entirely in the background. You need to change the sequence of how your paycheck is distributed. Most people get paid, spend on their lifestyle, and try to save what is left. But your expenses will always expand to fill your available cash. To fix this, you have to pay your future self before you do anything else. The day your money arrives, automate a fixed percentage straight to investments. Let it disappear into a dull, broad market fund before you even see it. Whatever is left in your checking account is your actual spending money. You can spend every single dollar of that remaining balance completely guilt-free. If you want the designer jacket or the expensive dinner, buy it from that pile. You don't have to feel anxious because your goals are already taken care of. Real financial freedom isn't about hoarding every single penny. It's about knowing your future is secure so you can enjoy the present. Stop letting social media algorithms tell you what your life should look like. A massive, quiet investment account is much better than a garage full of debt. It is simple, it is entirely unglamorous, and it works every single time. Take a look at your last 3 bank statements this weekend. Don't judge yourself or get discouraged by the numbers. Just look at where the friction was completely removed from your wallet. Identify the areas where you spent money just to maintain an image. Pick just one automatic transfer to set up for next month. Start small, let it run on autopilot, and get used to the new baseline. Building real wealth doesn't happen in a massive cinematic flash. It happens through a series of boring, disciplined, unbothered choices. I'm Chip. Take care of your business and stay unbothered. See you next time.